This woman and dog stumble upon each other, only to embark on a very unusual journey.
But before we start, please take a moment to give this video a like, subscribe to HappyWorld, and hit the bell so you'll never miss these great stories.
William Shakespeare once said, "Whoever loves, loves at first sight." Many times you must have heard people, "I fell in love with her the moment I saw them." But have you ever thought about this closely? Well, if not, then it's time to just scratch your head and give it a thought. Falling in love must be a beautiful feeling, but ever heard that someone fell in love with a dog at first sight? Was the dog as charming as a prince on a white horse? Did the dog just make your heart skip a beat? Watch here to find out what makes this beautiful love story of a girl who falls in love with a dog. Is the dog lucky? Do their paths also drift away? Or does destiny have something else in store for them? Ginger was born in Zambia to a family of beagles, and since then has been living there with her family and a sibling sister. Just like a typical breed of beagle, she had an appearance similar to that of a small hound and was 13 to 14 inches high and only weighed 20-30 pounds. She exhibited traits of a two-color variety beagle and was tan and white-colored. She had beautiful large hazel brown eyes. Sarah Leon is a young, attractive, and smart woman who pursued her graduation in biology and postgrad in primatology from Universitat de Girona, Spain. She has a keen interest in science and development. Topics related to biology, ecology, evolution, and zoology interest her. She puts up in Barcelona, is enjoying her life. Currently, she's busy working on her thesis. Ginger was used as a security dog back in Sanctuary of Zambia. This is a particular profession which is predominated by beagles. They're scent hound breed with a great sense of smell and superior tracking. This ability makes this breed most suitable for the purpose of guard dogs and is thus hired as detectors. But Ginger didn't enjoy the privileges of being a guard dog. Why? Ginger often hid under cars and other property on the location. Detection officers were often suspicious of her strange behavior. Every time the security dog herself was to be found on the site. Lately, it was discovered that Ginger was always frightened at this place because it was the same site where a car crushed her sister pup. Since then, she's been so scared that she would search for places to escape. Sarah was working on a wildlife project under which she traveled from Barcelona to Zambia. In Zambia, she spent a year in a wildlife sanctuary, taking care of and rescuing chimpanzees. All day, she'd roam around the forest and nurture the chimpanzees. She would closely study the behavior of these species as a part of her thesis. It was then for the first time there that she caught sight of a little pup named Ginger. The moment Sarah saw Ginger, she knew she fell in love with the dog. Her hazel brown sparkling eyes and innocence attracted Leon. She could instantly connect with her. Leon says, "She reminded me of one of our family dogs in Barcelona. From the very beginning, I loved her." For Sarah, Ginger's presence was like having her family dog near her without actually having one. The moment Sarah approached Ginger, Ginger fell in love with her touch. In all these years while working as a guard dog, Ginger never experienced this kind of generosity. Sarah's footsteps brought Ginger much-awaited warmth in her life. She reciprocated her love immediately. It's surprising as to how a mere human touch brought these two species together. Since then, Ginger's always looked up to Sarah for all her love and affection. Just like a shadow never leaves your side, Ginger never left Sarah's sight. She would follow her to all the places Sarah went. Sarah was quite astonished by Ginger following her everywhere. She was surprised by her loyalty. Sarah would travel to work, study about chimps all day, and Ginger would follow her everywhere. Leon says the distance to work would have been some 10 kilometers, and she and Ginger would walk that path together. Ginger and Sarah became closer day by day. The bond they shared was a lot more than that of a pet and an owner. They would walk together, roam together, play together. Every time Sarah had free time off work, she would want to play with Ginger. She took her along to all her work locations, and they both began stealing time from their hectic schedules to romp together. With every passing second, the love between Ginger and Sarah was growing deeper and deeper. Imagining a day or night without each other would scare them. Every night, Ginger would curl up to Sarah and she too would cuddle up. Ginger would lick her and Sarah with all her affection would hug her. They would both sleep in a bed together and would wake up cuddling next to each other. The wildlife project came to an end and it was time for Sarah to go back to Barcelona. But did that mean Sarah would have to say bye to Ginger? Sarah was in a state of huge dilemma. She's never been this weak in making a decision. All the time she'd think about Ginger and the sight of leaving her behind would haunt her. The entire day she'd just roam from left to right in her room and worry about Ginger. Finally, the day came when Sarah had to leave Zambia and head back home to Barcelona. After spending a week of sleepless nights, Sarah arrived at a decision. Leon decided to leave behind her beloved Ginger in the sanctuary and carry on with her work. Sarah said Ginger was a wild dog after all. She couldn't carry an African dog with herself. Leon bids a heartfelt adieu to Ginger and leaves for her hometown sadly. Sarah went back home. She got occupied with her studies and was all into completing a research thesis. Despite all this, Ginger wouldn't leave her mind. Though she carried on with her work and reports, in the back of her mind Ginger would be running. All she thought was whether Ginger was fine or not. Had she had her food? Was she sleeping on time? The condition of Ginger was no different. She was missing Sarah day and night. She had no one to talk to, no one to go to. Her human best friend was no longer here to take care of her. She lost a smile which Sarah gifted her, and things worsened on Ginger's end. Since there are quite a lot of dogs on the sanctuary land, some were being relocated to different areas, and Ginger was also relocated. Sarah could no longer bear the pain of being away from Ginger. She immediately took a call and decided to travel back to Zambia to meet her. On reaching Zambia, the first thing Sarah did was visit the wildlife sanctuary where she first met Ginger. She was so excited to meet her dear four-legged friend. She couldn't think of anything else than the moment she'd be hugging Ginger and she would reciprocate with cuddles. Sarah just rushed to the sanctuary and started looking for Ginger. She reached Ginger's kennel but was surprised to not find her there. She walked around the entire location but didn't seem to find her there either. Sarah was tense and scared, anticipating the whereabouts of Ginger. Lately, she inquired the officers at the sanctuary about her, only to realize she's been relocated. Ginger was used as a security dog at a mining site. Sarah visited the mining site where Ginger was being employed as a guard dog. She carried some dog food along with her as an excuse to visit and feed dogs there, and surprisingly, she couldn't find any dogs nearby and was worried. Sarah asked a man, "Where are the dogs?" and he replied, "There are no dogs here, ma'am." Sarah couldn't believe her ears and was like, how can there be no dogs? Sarah didn't lose hope though and continued her search for Ginger at the mining site. After searching for hours, she caught sight of the most wanted, Ginger. She was sitting under a car at the end of the yard. She was so scared that she didn't even come close to hug Sarah. Sarah just ran towards Ginger and hugged her, but Ginger sat underneath totally motionless. This behavior was bothering Sarah. Sarah was about to leave for Malawi, and this time she was sure what she wanted. Ginger's situation just broke her heart. Sarah was extremely sad knowing the sweet dog she met a year ago was going through this mess, but she wanted a better life than this for Ginger. Sarah decided to take Ginger out of this mining site and travel to Africa with her. Sarah just took Ginger and placed her in a car. She drove off to enjoy Africa with her pal by her side, but Ginger continued to be silent. She wouldn't react to anything from Sarah. Probably separation from Sarah followed by a relocation made Ginger like this today. Sarah says Ginger would keep looking out of the car's window and stay mute. Ginger was scared of Sarah even. For a month or so, she'd be hiding under cars and trucks. She found peace there, but Sarah was happy that Ginger was always around her and she could easily see her, ensuring her safety. It took Ginger quite a lot of time to recover from the phase, but sooner or later, Ginger returned to Sarah as a happy dog she was a year ago. She'd bark and play around Sarah, Ginger would cuddle up and curl up. The dog got her lost smile back. Though quite later, Ginger realized she was a privileged dog. Her human would take her to all the places she traveled, and this meant Ginger was on a road trip to Africa with Sarah. They would enjoy playing together, cuddling at night, long walks and talks with everything they did before. They were living all over again. Their companionship was back on track and they had ample time to spend together. This stray dog was soon turning into a travel doggo. Their journey began from Malawi. Malawi's known for the greatest African lake, Lake Malawi. A lot of tourists visit the lake not for its freshwater and beaches covered with golden sands, but for the water sports this lake offers. Sarah and Ginger took a paddleboard and paddled for hours and hours, enjoying the stunning lake. Sarah recalls looking at Ginger's face, and Ginger was happy and smiling. The Mulanje Mountains are one of the best locations for hiking in Malawi. Sarah and Ginger headed for hiking in this land. Ginger enjoyed hiking in those African bushes, and they cherished witnessing the sunsets and sunrises. They danced at the bonfire and did camping. Sarah couldn't stop admiring Ginger. Other people hiking in the mountains would also enjoy Ginger's presence around them. Some even told Sarah that her dog was smiling. Ginger was enjoying this life. Here she felt secure with Sarah. She'd no longer hide under cars and trucks in fear. This life of a wandering dog was much better than that of a security dog at a mining site. They once went for an animal safari in Africa and had the time of her life. On seeing a gang of elephants approaching, Sarah probably screamed, "Oh God, we're gonna die," but surprisingly, this time Ginger assured her, "Don't worry, Mama, we'll be fine." The adventures didn't stop either. They came one after the other. Sarah and Ginger have visited national parks, trekked mountains, hiked at various places, went on long road walks, saw chimpanzees and other African wildlife. They've even heard roaring African lions and wandered cities, but this was just the beginning of their voyage to upcoming adventures. As they say, everything you want doesn't come easy. Something similar happened to Sarah and Ginger's African tour. Traveling with a dog wasn't an easy task. There were parts of the continent where people were scared of dogs, so taking Ginger to those parts was challenging. There were hindrances at African borders as Sarah didn't have proper papers to prove Ginger wasn't smuggled. Every time they visited zoos, it was Sarah's responsibility to save Ginger from baboon attacks and at the same time had to make sure Ginger didn't bark at other animals. Sarah says, "It wasn't me but my heart that made the decision of taking Ginger along. I'd do it again but would never recommend it to anyone else who's traveling full-time." Do dogs really make your life that difficult? One would fall ill, will have work, and at times will even need privacy, but first they'll have to search for a place to reside their dog. Sarah says, "These are only a few problems, I could tell you 1,000 more. But when everything back to normal, by then there was no more beautiful feeling than having Ginger by my side." There's a solution to every problem on Faces, and Sarah and Ginger also found one to combat people's fear of the dog. They visited the countryside school and provided students the knowledge about dogs so they don't fear them. They'd impart education to children about the behavior of these species and would even show children that dogs aren't that scary and dangerous. It was not only an educational trip but also left Ginger and Sarah with a lot of memories. Since Ginger faced quite a lot of hardships in her life, she turned into a sensitive being. The death of her sister and then separation from Sarah followed by the relocation, all this made Ginger more empathetic towards others. She now spots dogs on the streets who are in need of help and made Sarah help them. What a beautiful heart this dog has. These two are enjoying their time in Zambia. Sarah went to her friend's place there where she cherished her leisure time. Not only did she accompany her friend there, but Ginger and she tasted some more experiences. Little did I know Ginger knew how to swim. Sarah and Ginger cherished their swimming pool dips at Zambia and added another adventure together to their never-ending list. Sarah happily celebrates the decision she made a year ago to keep Ginger along with her. Sarah gave a new life to this constantly scared dog. She smiles realizing she was able to make a difference in her life, and Sarah says, "I'm happy looking at her glittering eyes. I can feel it in my stomach. I'm happy to not think of myself when and how expensive it'll be to travel with Ginger." Sarah feels delighted to see Ginger happy. After traveling for a year with Ginger, Sarah's family wished her to return to Barcelona. They convinced Sarah to head back home along with Ginger. Sarah readily agreed and packed her bags to leave for Barcelona, and this time she was happy, as she had her loyal friend by her side. Sarah recalls that Ginger and she have come a long way, and now they have an even longer journey to travel. What awaits them at Barcelona is a surprise. The best gift which Barcelona had for Ginger was her new extended family. Other than Sarah, Ginger got two more friends, Ula and Joy. Ula and Joy are Sarah's family dogs. Now they were a trio who just got along together in a clique. They'd play along and would run in the entire garden, and Ginger was no longer the scared dog she was at the security sites. She had a new life altogether, a life full of love and laughter. For Ginger, Barcelona was an all-new land. She had a lot to discover here. Her inquisitiveness about the new city kept her enthusiastic all the time. In the words of Sarah, Ginger was enjoying it here. She was liking the tall buildings, huge cars, new streets. Sarah says she stops every 3 centimeters to smell the other dogs. Ginger's surprised to see their smells everywhere, and Ginger would get cuddles from random people walking by on the streets. She feels delighted by the attention and love. Currently, Sarah and Ginger are enjoying their vacations in Barcelona with their family. They'll be staying here for a few months, planning their upcoming adventures. They both are planning on a crazy year ahead. Sarah says, "I know it'll be difficult, but it's going to be even better." Not only this, but Sarah's also working on new projects to save the lives of more Zambian dogs like that of Ginger, who are living a life of distress and misery. Sarah and Ginger are having the time of their lives. Their stories an inspiration to many around. For Sarah, Ginger's her world, and to Ginger, there's nothing beyond Sarah. Ginger realizes now as to how lucky she is to survive as a security dog at the sanctuary and coming across her life's savior. Not all dogs are that lucky to be entitled as a world traveler. We wish Sarah and Ginger many more adventures and an even happier life ahead.